Welcome to How to Survive with Danielle and Kristine, the show that teaches you how to survive the stuff that can kill you.
Like a bee attack or a Legionnaire's disease or vampire bats.
And the stuff that just makes you wish you were dead.
Like tripping on your own shoelaces or jerking off on a Zoom call or being visited by ghosts.
No thanks to all that.
Yeah. you can take that and shove it.
Exactly.
Or just play the theme song.
Let's go.
Ground is shaking under our feet. Mountains on fire, flooding in the street. Can't breathe the air, can't fight the feeling. Gobbling down Xanax ain't the way to be dealing. Gotta do better than just getting high. We gotta stick together if we're gonna survive. Ooh, how to survive. Ooh, how to survive.
Welcome to How to Survive with Danielle and Kristine. I am Danielle.
I'm Kristine.
And he's the garden squirrel.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's show.
So official. What happened to you?
I'm auditioning.
Oh, are you done with me?
I want to get a job in radio. I want to be one of those like sidekicks.
Oh, like your name has to be Allie or Susie or...
I'll change it.
Yeah.
I'll add an I with a heart.
Okay. Yeah, Chrissy.
It was Chrissy until I was about 30.
Really?
My family still calls me Chrissy.
I'm sorry, but it's not good.
And my kids are like, Mom, why are they doing that?
Oh.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't get them to stop.
Chrissy, yeah. I can only think of Three's Company when I hear Chrissy.
Yeah.
That's all there's no other way around it.
Well, I'm also wearing short shorts and
That's true.
Tube socks right now. And I have my hair in pigtails.
And you have a terry cloth shirt.
And I got breast implants. Double D's.
I don't think hers were implants.
No, but I would have to for that situation.
I mean, maybe they were. I always think people back then didn't have implants, but she may have. Although I remember lots of the humor revolving around her jumping up and down and them moving, so I'm guessing they were not implants.
It's funny that I didn't ever get how awful that show was, in a way, to women.
No, I didn't
As
either.
a child, I was just like, this show's... I just loved Jack Tripper.
Yeah.
I loved the girls, women.
Yeah.
But I just...
Well, they called them girls on the show.
On the show, yeah.
Hey, girls.
Yeah. I just thought it was so great and fun. And
Yeah. Well, Janet worked at a flower shop, so there was that. She was a working woman.
She did have a job. What did Chrissy do?
I think she was a secretary or something. I could be wrong, but I feel like she had a job at an office.
I just think it was... Jack was clumsy, and that was funny to me.
It was adorable. He was great.
I
loved him.
R.I.P.
Yep. So before we got on the air, I said I have to go to the bathroom, and you said squeeze it all out, but don't get a UTI. Is that how you get UTIs?
No, but
I didn't think so.
You know what? I think it's actually the opposite. It's from holding it. Oh, I mean, there are other ways you can get UTIs.
Can you get them from
ways.
sex ways?
I think it's from men not washing their hands in a lot of cases.
It is?
And well, that's one of the ways. It's because it's bacteria, and it's also
that makes sense.
Ass play.
Ass play with your vagina?
Well, I think it's if bacteria from your butthole makes its way up to your urethra.
Oh, that's so much more specific than I was looking for. Because what I was thinking when I was in the restroom, squeezing it out, as you said, was that I've never had a UTI, but I did once have a yeast infection. And I remember just once.
Yeah.
And I was working on my very first game show, which was a show called Debt. They had just hired me for...
Debt! Oh, the classic.
Yeah, the classic. They'd hired me for the last 2 weeks of the show for some reason.
They were like, fix this.
And I was the only woman. And I remember, like, this is hysterical. I'm sitting here with all these men, and I have an itchy vagina, and I have to go to the restroom and then somehow fit my vagina back into my jeans. Because that's what happens.
They get huge.
They get huge. These vaginas get huge.
These vaginas.
That's what it is. It's like yeast.
They get swole.
They swole, yeah. I was like, oh, that's why it's called a yeast infection.
This is new information.
It's like a muffin. It rises.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The yeast, obviously.
Yeah.
How do you think bread gets
right?
This was not covered on Bake Off.
No, they call it something different there. They call it fanny Fanny crust. That can't be right.
Fanny Fluff?
Fanny fluff. That's
When it
Right
comes out of
rider.
the top of their jeans, they don't call it a muffin top. They call it a fanny riser.
well, fanny is vagina in
Yes.
England. Okay, I'm vagina splaining to you.
No, please.
Anyway, speaking of deaths, because you said R.I.P. John Ritter,
Yes.
we lost Angela Lansbury.
Too
96. Too soon.
So unexpected. They put old age on her birth certificate like they
Oh
did
my
with the
God,
Queen.
that's amazing that they did that. So what was fascinating was Chris sent me a little tidbit
Yes.
about her, which I have now seen other
Verified.
people tweeting.
Yes.
Yeah. So explain what.
that her daughter got swept up with Charles Manson.
Right.
And this is what I thought was so badass about Angela Lansbury.
Yeah.
Her solution when her daughter got mixed up with some bad people, some drugs, and then under the charismatic spell of Charles
Yeah.
Manson. So she was like, so I took my whole family and moved to County Cork, Ireland.
Yeah.
And we lived on a farm. I stopped acting.
And did it work?
Well, I think she had said in the interview I read, she still had a little bit of trouble.
Oh, okay.
But like she got herself straight. But it
Okay,
sounds
'cause
like
she was on heroin or something.
yeah,
Right. Yeah.
So she stayed for a whole year,
wow.
and then it was okay.
That's
and then,
so. I love that.
yeah, it's like
That's a badass move.
that's a boss move, and I'm putting it in my back pocket
yeah. Right.
in case I ever need it.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say you're going to put it in your backpack, but there's no room with all those bricks.
And rocks.
Rocks.
Yeah, no, I don't
Yeah.
have space.
No.
I don't have the strength to carry anything
No.
else. I can't even put an idea in there.
No, you just got to carry it in your back pocket. Mm-hmm. Well, R.I.P. Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, what a treasure. You know what I love her in?
I'm going to say Gaslight.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've seen it, right?
Of course.
God, I love that movie.
Yeah.
So good. Have you seen it, Karen?
I don't think I have.
Oh,
She's 17, something like that.
you have to watch it.
yeah.
Gaslight?
It's so
It's where the term gaslighting comes from.
it's so good.
Oh.
There were lots of jokes on Twitter about you can tell me Angela Lansbury was a gaslight, but she wasn't.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yes, I saw a very similar, or maybe the same tweet of someone who was like, "That's not even a movie."
And then someone else also tweeted, I wish I could, I don't remember, I don't know who did it, but about the Manson thing was murder she avoided. I thought was very funny.
Oh, Twitter! It's always fun and never toxic.
Nope.
What else? Oh, guys,
Yeah.
I'm happy to report I left my home and saw a movie.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just by yourself or with
no,
Sven? Or?
with Sven. It was our wedding anniversary over the weekend.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. Happy anniversary.
I can't believe you don't have all the dates of my
No.
life memorized.
I was there, though.
You were at
I
the
was at
wedding.
the wedding.
Oh, guess what I did? I finally made a photo album of my wedding.
Oh, good.
And you're in it many times dancing, and you look like you're having a good time.
Oh, I wonder what I was wearing. I don't remember.
Oh, you're wearing a great black dress with cool sleeves that puff.
Oh, I know what it is. Yeah.
It's fabulous.
That doesn't narrow it down. I'm sitting here in puff sleeves.
My whole wardrobe of black dresses all have puff sleeves, and I only have black dresses. So
So you went out for
we
your
went out.
anniversary.
We booked a sitter,
Nice.
and we went and saw Bros.
Oh, did you like it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun and great and funny, and I overall really enjoyed it.
Yeah, same.
Wait.
Yes. Yes.
Did you have something? Oh, your UTI and your
That's
muffin.
what just because it brought me back to a more a fluffier, more innocent time.
Oh, can I just say I'm a little envious because I had years of being riddled with UTIs and yeast infections, and I don't.
I'm
It's not
sorry.
because of like fun ass play.
It was messy ass play.
It was unfun ass play. No, just I don't know why.
There's other ways to get it.
I just was unlucky. I think.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I was just a dirty. I was just dirty about my vagina. I didn't keep it clean, guys. I didn't wash it.
You got a Marie Kondo that vagina. Get rid of the
you know what?
stuff that doesn't spark joy.
I had 3 trash bags full of stuff in there.
Wow,
I know.
That's really good.
Once I
Did you
rooted
donate
it out. Yeah, well, some
you
of
gotta
it
throw it away.
Yeah, some of it, you gave to the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
Some of it I just had to burn.
Right.
But, now it's fine.
Okay, good.
Okay. speaking of creepy.
Yes.
I'm really excited about today's episode, guys.
Okay.
I didn't think I'd be as excited. It's even inspired me to start reading horror classic Dracula by Bram Stoker.
Yes. I've heard of it.
It's good.
I've heard it's amazing, actually. I've never read it. Have you?
I have not.
Really?
I haven't read Frankenstein either. Because I'm watching this documentary called Queer for Fear or Queer as Fear, one of the two. And they're talking about how those books are very steeped in queerness because Bram Stoker may have been gay and Mary Shelley was at least bi.
Oh.
And I didn't know these things.
I think I knew maybe Dracula. I certainly didn't know Frankenstein was steeped
neither.
in queerness.
No, I didn't either. So it's interesting, and I want to get them and read them.
Join my book club, and you can be reading Dracula right now. And it's free. It's easy to get it on Libby for free. So
Love Libby.
love Libby.
I shouldn't have to go off on another tangent. Sorry.
No, just tell me what you're reading.
I'm reading Breakfast at Tiffany's and I don't understand. Like, are we supposed to like her at all? She's horrible.
I don't think so.
Horrible person.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like, also it doesn't take place in the 60s. It takes place in the 40s. And so it's very hard for me to picture because it's not Audrey Hepburn and she's blonde and it's very hard to wrap my head around.
You can make her look like Audrey Hepburn.
No, I
if you
can't
want.
because she said she was blonde and I can't get it out of my head. But that's not the problem. The problem is she's just such a horrible person. Like, I don't understand. She's not it's just there's nothing like redeemable about her. And I'm sure that's the point, but I
Yes.
don't really. Anyway.
I get it. I just
I haven't
finished The
finished it.
Talented Mr. Ripley.
Oh, don't. That's what I want to read.
It's so good.
Okay,
I have it.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh, because I'm
If you want to read it on.
I've got it. Yeah, no, that's fine. I'll take it.
Okay, we're going to have a conversation about it
Okay.
on our book podcast.
Sorry.
Guys, this is all bonus content.
You know, this could all be avoided if someone would just employ me full time. But we wouldn't have to be talking about books.
Don't want that because we want to hear your opinions on books. Guys, just join our book club.
So we're talking about How to Survive Dracula?
I started, yes, guys, you don't want to get bitten by Dracula. It turns you into a vampire. I started reading Dracula because today's topic is vampire bats.
Ooh.
All right. I didn't know I was going to get so excited about vampire bats. I didn't know all the twists and turns this was going to take us on. But this is going to be a really exciting, fun episode. I'm going to give you fun details about vampire bats. I'm going to go out on a tangent and talk about bats, regular bats.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you an insane story. I'm so excited to tell you this story.
I'm excited.
I'm going to probably talk fast because we have a lot to cover.
Okay.
First of all, I watched the first 10 minutes of Morbius.
Is that about a vampire?
You know Jared Leto's in it. It's the Marvel property.
Yeah, it was supposed to be terrible.
So he shows up in this cave in Costa Rica. The first thing that made me laugh watching like the first 90 seconds is he gets out of this helicopter on this cave side and the guy says, "Are you the doctor?" And he says, "I'm the doctor." Like, that's the dialogue. And he's using a cane in Costa Rica. So I'm like, oh, is this like what happened to Sven? Like, he just stepped off a curb and twisted, twerked his ankle.
Right.
But instead of Sven, Sven just swallows handfuls of Advil and is like, all right, we're going to keep going on vacation.
Yeah.
And Jared Leto's like, no, I'm going to charter a private helicopter and slice open my hand with a machete and stand in front of a cave and attract bloodthirsty vampire bats.
Oh.
And I guess that's maybe going to make him a supervillain.
Okay, that's what he wants.
That's what he wants.
Okay.
I don't know because that's all I watched. So
Yeah, no, it's sort of infamously terrible.
But the idea is that, these are vampire bats. And if you even have a drop of blood, they're going to come and they're going to just turn you into, roided out Jared Leto.
Okay.
Okay. That is not in any way, shape, or form how vampire bats behave.
Okay.
And it's just another reason to not like Morbius or Jared Leto.
Yeah, I don't have an opinion on him.
I think he's a goofball. I don't know.
That's a name my mother-in-law used to use. Yeah, he's goofy. He's goofball.
He's a goof. Okay. First of all, most bats are not vampire bats.
Okay.
Only 3 of more than 1,300 bat species are vampire bats. They're called white-winged or hairy-legged vampire bats.
Okay.
That's like I'm a hairy-legged vampire bat.
I was the same.
All
Yeah.
winter. They only live in Central and South America, and they're the only bats who consume blood, and they only consume blood. That's it.
They live on blood?
They live on blood.
Okay, now I get where they get the name.
Vampire bats, I'm glad you said that. It's like You know exactly where
I know.
I'm
I'm
going
just
next.
reading your mind.
We are so, you know what?
Simpatico.
We're so like, I'm doing this sign right now.
Yeah.
What's that called?
The 2 fingers out.
Finger point.
Yeah. To your eyes, my eyes. Yeah.
That's the thing. Vampire bats were named after vampires, not the other way around. So vampire mythologies existed in cultures around the world long before vampire bats got their name. Vampire bats were first officially described in the scientific literature in 1810, then documented by Darwin in 1839, but it was the 1897 release of Bram Stoker's Dracula that made that relationship solid in our Western culture.
Interesting. Okay.
But you know what? I haven't gotten to the bats part yet in the book because I'm still early on. I'm still in the part where it's weird because I keep imagining the protagonist of the novel, who's the narrator, as Keanu Reeves because of that stupid movie.
That movie was so awful.
Well, I'm going to watch it again after I finish the book, and I'll tell you how it still continues to be bad.
Winona Ryder's in it too, right?
Yes.
With her fucking Sybil and S's.
I like her though. I think she's delightful.
We'll agree to disagree.
That's fine. You know, we don't have to like all the same people.
No, I think she's very pretty to look at.
She's so pretty.
She's upsettingly pretty.
Yeah. You look like her.
I do not look like her, but that's
Darren,
nice.
she does, right?
I can also go like this with my asses.
You don't have to.
That's how she talks. It drives me absolutely insane.
I'm going to pay attention next.
She also is such a bad actress, she can't convincingly smoke.
No, you have to have, you know what I think?
On Stranger Things?
Yeah. Oh, she holds it like
She holds it like it was the weirdest cigarette smoking I've ever seen in my life.
Like,
yeah.
I think you have to have smoked really to know how to
But
smoke.
she has to have smoked.
Oh God, she seems like she'd be a
She seems like she'd be a
chain smoker.
chimney. Right. So how does she not know how to hold
She
a
must not have
cigarette?
really smoked.
All right.
All right. Vampire bats can feed on almost any type of animal.
Okay.
I kind of want a cigarette right now, don't you?
Sure, always.
Every second of the day. They bite porcupines, armadillos.
Oh my God, they pick
snakes.
the hardest animals.
Yeah. They're like, hey, I gotta
need a
eat.
challenge.
Look, let's make this fun. Snakes, sea lions, even penguins, Danielle.
Oh, they're in the same place?
This seems unlikely. No, Central and South America.
Well, wait, are there Central and South American penguins?
No, they live on the ice. What the heck?
But maybe there's some penguins who... Anyway,
okay. We don't have to get to the
We're getting
bottom.
off the point.
Yeah. You know what? Someone can tell us.
Yeah.
For the most part, they stick to livestock and birds.
Okay.
It's pretty rare for a human to get bitten, but if you sleep outside, out in the open, you're fair game.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to tell you how they drink blood, because this is fascinating. They drink like a cat lapping up milk. Ugh. I know that gives you the super creeps.
Yeah.
So they use their tiny dagger teeth to make an incision near an artery.
Okay.
And then they let the blood trickle out into a little pool before licking it up. Isn't that cute?
It's kind of cute.
They keep the blood from clotting and sealing the wound by an anticoagulant in their blood.
Oh my God.
This protein is called, or it's an it's an anticoagulant in their saliva. I believe. I think that was a typo I made. This protein is called Draculin.
Oh my God.
Right? It's pretty cool.
This is really cool.
And it's been studied as a potential treatment for stroke patients.
Well, I was going to say, I didn't know specifically for stroke patients,
Yeah.
but I was going to say, I bet they've used this in some medicinal way
Yeah.
for
They're figuring it out.
Yeah.
It's like, how can we as humans
benefit.
take this from them and
Right.
use it for ourselves? Like all things. They hunt in absolute darkness. They are the only mammal that can fly.
I know that. And I have to tell you, last night on Jeopardy, there was a question.
Yes.
And now it was only a $200 question, but it was this flying mammal. And I was like, bat.
Nice.
And, something, something, something. And the guy who's like killing it, he's on there. He said, squirrel. I'm like, they don't fucking fly. They soar.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy.
They soar. I think it's just writing on so many goddamn game shows. Anyway, okay.
Don't sell yourself short, Danielle.
You're right. I know
You
a bat. I know
are-
it in my heart that a bat is the only flying mammal.
Listen to this. I think this is super interesting. They're the only whose ancestor lost and re-evolved the ability to run.
Wait, what?
So, they're the only animal whose ancestors
Could
lost,
run, and then they couldn't.
lost it, and
Okay.
then now they can again. So regular
A
bats,
running bat
yeah.
sounds fucking terrifying.
Okay, so regular bats, they're very awkward on flat surfaces. They're just like, whoa, they're flapping around.
Okay.
Vampire bats can motor along on thumbs, wrists, and legs at 3 feet per second.
Get out.
I swear.
I gotta look up video footage of a
I'm
running bat.
I'm going to find video and I'm going to put it in our newsletter.
Oh my God.
Why isn't that a horror film? Bats on the
Yes. Because maybe it looks cute.
Run? Oh, and Band on the Run could be the song.
Yeah, Bats on the Run.
Do you think they could get Paul McCartney to re-record the song
don't see why not.
for the movie?
He's a beetle. Why can't he be a bat?
Somebody reach out to Paul McCartney and while they're at it, see if he'll be on our show. Okay. They're aided in their hunting by infrared perception in their noses
Okay.
and echolocation.
Right.
It's like the sonar system, which we've heard of, I'm sure. We've all heard of echolocation.
Sure.
Okay. They also have evolved complex social relationships similar to us humans, primates, and dolphins. So they don't store body fat, so they can starve after just a couple of meals. Other bats will often, this is so sweet, you guys, they'll regurgitate their blood meals to keep other bats in their little hive or it's not called a hive.
Colony?
Their colony fed and healthy. So if you guys
Jesus
just want to
Christ.
take a moment, close your eyes and think about someone you would regurgitate your blood meal for.
This sounds like a very codependent relationship.
You know what? I did read that this is kind of funny. If like one of the bats in the coven starts to get lazy,
Yeah.
and starts like being like, "Hey, regurgitate for me again," they'll kick them out.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, "Nope, you can't just sit around all day long
This is interesting.
and just expect us to keep
just
regurgitating for
can't
you."
get over the fact that they only live on blood. That it's not like
Yeah.
So they don't even eat an insect.
No,
Wow.
That's it.
That is weird, right?
just blood.
That seems like evolution gone wrong.
It's wild. It's the only animal that does this.
okay.
All
And my
right.
ex-wife, am I right?
Oh my God, that woman.
Jesus, if she's not a bloodsucker, I don't know who is.
I'm going to broaden the scope a little bit.
Okay.
We're going to talk about all bats now.
Okay.
Because if you're living in the United States, you've got bats.
Right, just not vampire bats.
Exactly.
Okay.
Hawaii, though? No bats.
Now that's interesting. I would have thought they would have bats because I feel like they have caves.
They have lots of caves, but no bats. So I'm happy to know that since we did go cave exploring in Hawaii.
Oh, okay. Maybe I can get my son to do it then.
It's really fun.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
I'll tell you where to go.
All right.
All right. Bats are one of the most commonly reported rabid animals in the United States. Fun fact.
Sure.
And they are the leading cause of rabies deaths in people in the United States. I'm giving you a little bit of tidbits. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you some safety info. Here's the survival stuff that everybody needs to know. Some fun tips.
Okay.
Find a bat in your home.
Oh.
You want to try to capture it for testing. So that way you know if it has rabies and you know if you need to be vaccinated. So if it like swoops over your head, there's a possibility you might have been bitten because it doesn't hurt often. It's a really mild bite. Many times people get bitten and they don't know it because it can feel like a mosquito bite. And oftentimes you don't know you've been bitten by a mosquito.
Sure.
By testing the bat for rabies, you can find out if you need to be vaccinated.
Now, how would you do that? Where do you bring it?
You call like your health department and they have somebody come. Do not touch a bat with your bare hands.
Okay.
I feel like that, put on leather gloves.
Put on batting gloves.
Put on your catcher's mitt.
Catcher's mitt,
And your
right.
face thing.
Yeah.
Put on a whole
Baseball
uniform.
Oh, and those cute socks.
Oh.
I like those cute
Those are
socks.
adorable. Okay. Even if I'm going to just reiterate, even if you aren't sure you've been bitten or scratched, call your doctor, urgent care, public health professional. Good news, most bats don't have rabies.
Okay.
But you can't tell just by looking at it, right?
Yeah.
They're not
They
saying
don't foam
it.
at the mouth like dogs.
They don't.
Okay.
They might, but it's really small.
It's so
and you don't wanna
teeny-tiny.
You don't want to get close enough.
Yeah.
Can only be confirmed in a laboratory
Okay.
or laboratory.
I think laboratory is the right pronunciation for this story
Okay, I do too.
because it's bats.
And it's Dracula.
Dracula.
If you're outdoors, it's normal to see bats outside, guys. I'm not trying to make you more afraid of bats.
Okay.
Especially if you're out, in the dusk time.
Okay.
You're playing a little, what do you play? What's that called?
Badminton?
Badminton.
Badminton. Yeah.
They like to come down and try to get the birdie.
Really?
I remember that from when I was a kid and we'd play it and they'd
Really?
swoop down.
Oh, you've seen bats first. I mean, I guess I've seen bat. I don't know if I've ever seen a bat in real life, but if I have, it was like in a cave in Australia, not.
Oh, we see them in outside all the time at our place.
Oh, okay. Are they
Because-
scary?
No, they're just, you'll be like, oh, no, that's not a bird, that's a bat. Because when we sit out on the deck,
Wow.
they'll just be flying
Really?
around, right?
They fly differently than
They do.
birds.
They have a
look
different-
lopsided or whatever.
They have a
like-
different way of flying. You've
Yeah.
probably seen them a lot, and
Yeah.
you just didn't know you were seeing bats.
Really? Okay.
It's normal at dusk. Okay, I said this. Avoid intentional contact with bats outside.
Yeah. No.
No
kissing.
grabbing the bat.
Yeah.
No kiss the bat. Don't play kiss the bat.
Don't kissy the bat.
It sounds fun,
Yeah.
but the results can be
It's
devastating.
deceptively dangerous.
Yes. You want to use screens, tents, or mosquito netting when sleeping outside.
Yeah. We, when Oliver was in, I guess, second grade, there was a school field trip to the San Diego, I can't remember if it was the San Diego Wild Park or the San Diego Zoo, but we slept over and we slept in tents.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the tents, there was a bat in the tent.
Oh, no.
And all the kids were screaming, of course.
Yes.
And I mean, you could see it from the outside. You
Yeah.
could see it like banging on the light,
Yeah.
banging on the inside of the tent.
It's like, let me out of here.
Yeah.
I want to give some
creepy.
people some rabies.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to keep bats out of your house, right? So you can call a wildlife conservation agency if you don't feel like comfortable yourself. Here's some
Yeah.
things you can do. You can examine your home for holes that might allow bats entry.
Okay.
Caulk any openings larger than a dime.
What?
Yeah, they can be very small and they're like cats, they make themselves little.
Squishy.
Window screens, chimney caps, draft guards beneath doors or attics. Fill electrical and plumbing holes with stainless steel wool, caulk, or other material rated for pest exclusion. You can always call somebody too.
Yeah.
If you don't feel like you're an expert at this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not.
You call your exterminator type person.
Yeah, and they'll block it
say,
up.
Hey, come block this stuff up.
Would you call your local Batman?
You would.
You just shine a light at
the
night. And he comes, yeah.
What if you already have bats in your home?
Well, then I'm moving.
You can also observe where they exit at dusk.
Okay.
Or hang garlic and say the Lord's Prayer. Both, maybe. Make note of how many there are. You can prevent them from coming back by hanging some clear plastic sheeting or bird netting over the areas where they exit.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, once they leave, they can't come back in, but it still allows them to leave, but then they can't come back in.
Mm-hmm.
When they're all gone, then you close that exit up.
Okay.
Okay? If you want some more information on bat removal, you know what? I'm going to post it in the newsletter. Because there's lots and lots and lots of tips.
I've
but-
seen videos of people, like trying to capture it or, like it's stuck in the house.
Yes.
Just flying around.
Yes.
It's so scary.
I don't want a bat in my house.
No, you
Nobody
will
wants-
have one though. You know
Oh,
that,
we already
right?
had one in our garage.
Oh, see, how'd you get it out?
I think Sven shooed it away somehow. He probably tried to grab it. Now, which he shouldn't have
Bare
done.
hands.
Because I'm about to tell you a story.
Okay.
That's going to shake you to your core.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
I sure am.
All right. So I actually heard this on another podcast, Radio Lab, which I'm sure you've heard
sure,
of.
yeah.
And I'm going to summarize it. So if you want more details, which you definitely will, listen to the episode. I'll put it in the newsletter. Okay. This is back in 2004 in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Jenna Gaddis, she's 15. She's a sophomore in high school. It's homecoming week. She's on the volleyball team. Everything's working out for her.
Sure.
She's having a good life.
Yeah.
So she's playing volleyball. Someone sets her up for a spike. She sees 2 balls.
Oh,
She has double vision,
shit.
right? Like the Foreigner song.
Yeah.
Each day after that, she's getting more tired. She takes the PSATs. Next day, she can't get out of bed.
Oh.
Doctors, neurologists, specialists, they're baffled. It's not the flu. They test her for meningitis. Nope, doesn't have meningitis. She's getting worse. She's hospitalized.
Oh no.
She's like, her limbs start to shake, and it's like she's just deteriorating by the day.
Oh my God.
Her pediatrician visits her in the hospital. And then the mom thinks, she remembers to tell the pediatrician, oh, about a month ago, she got bitten by a bat. we were at church. At Mass. It was in this Catholic church, which I think like this has the devil written
I
all
know,
over
right?
it.
I mean,
So she's saying it's swooping. She's telling, the pediatrician it's swooping down at people's heads. The ushers are trying to use a broom to get the bat, out of these open windows. And then Jenna, who's this big animal lover, catches the bat, takes it outside with her bare hands.
oh, Jesus.
In the process,
Jenna.
it bites her index finger.
Okay.
They wash her hands, think nothing of it.
Well, that seems a little negligent.
Okay.
Okay.
Right? I get it. Like, to me, in my head, I'm like, you get bitten by a bat, you immediately call.
Yeah.
But maybe not everybody knows this. I'm going to assume Sven said, I didn't know that. Like, he didn't associate bats with being dangerous.
Yeah.
So maybe not everybody does.
I don't know if I, honestly, to be completely honest, I don't know if I would have. It just seems, I feel like I've heard of bats and rabies, but I'm not positive.
I feel like if you're bitten by a wild animal,
That's
for
kind of what I
safety's sake,
mean.
you might
Yeah,
wanna just,
right.
maybe just check.
At least some peroxide.
But
if nothing else.
Least.
Okay.
so they thought nothing of it. You know what? I'm going to try to reserve my judgment. Failing. Okay. So Anne tells the pediatrician this. His face turns white as a ghost. They rush her to Children's Hospital in Milwaukee to be treated by this infectious disease specialist named Rodney Willoughby. By this time, she's in something called a stuporous state.
Oh.
That means she can barely talk. He realizes she's close to being on a breathing tube, and if she has rabies, she's going to die. I'm going to jump. Okay, hold on. I'm going to tangent off to rabies for a second.
Okay.
It's one of the deadliest diseases in the world.
Okay.
A haunting quote from this podcast was, if we say there are 55,000 cases of rabies a year, then you also have 55,000 rabies deaths a year.
What do you mean? There's no cure for rabies?
Correct. That's from Monica Murphy, and she and Bill Wasek, who's an editor at Wired, wrote a book called Rabid together that I definitely want to check out. So just to pull some info from this book, Rabid,
Okay.
the cures they've tried historically for rabies are nuts. Eating cock's brain.
What is that? What?
A cock, like a roost chicken.
Oh, okay.
Eating the brain.
Sure. Why wouldn't you go there?
Of course. Goose grease mixed with honey. The flesh of a mad dog, salted.
Is these ingredients in a witch's spell?
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day. The skin or old slough of a serpent. Here's my personal favorite. Are you guys ready for this?
I have newt.
Yes. I mean, this does sound like a bed knobs and broomsticks. Pull out the feathers from around a live rooster's anus and apply the anus to the bite wound on the theory that the anus would suck the poison out of the wound.
Oh, so you just take the live
Yes.
rooster
Yeah.
and you push it up against the wound.
Because you know how anuses suck things?
Sure.
That'll get you a UTI.
That's how you get,
Oh, that's how I got all those
That's
UTIs.
how you got it. You knew it was a cock of some sort.
Yes. Here's how rabies works. Okay. The virus enters the body at the bite site and makes its way to the brain. If you can administer the vaccine before symptoms begin,
Okay.
the person can survive.
Okay, so that is why if you were bitten, you would go to the doctor right away.
Exactly.
Okay.
But once the infection has reached the brain, nothing can be done.
Wow.
Okay. So, and it's a terrible way to die. P.S. Okay. Some people's brain kind of shuts down and they slip into a coma, but more often they develop that cliche rage and aggression.
Yeah.
There are videos online you can watch.
People?
Yeah, I didn't.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. But on the Radio Lab episode, you can hear the videos of people
shit.
screaming in rage and aggression. It's kind of awful.
Oh my God.
Here's another wild thing. At the very end of people's rabies demise, they develop an intense fear of water.
Okay, that's
hydrophobia?
Okay. Yes, I was going to say, all right, okay. Never mind.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I did watch a video of that, of a man who had that, and it was really uncomfortable.
He's terrified of water.
They're terrified of water. I'm going to tell you why. Okay. I'm going to tell you about the aggression and fear. It fulfills an actual purpose. Rabies is not really easily transmittable through humans. Thank God, because could you imagine, like, if rabies was, it'd make COVID look like, the sniffles.
Yeah.
The aggression is to make you want to bite other people.
Get out.
And the fear of water is so you won't drink water and your mouth fills up with your own saliva.
Wait, if your mouth, what would happen if
You'll spit it at other people.
and then
It
they'll
makes
get
it more transmittable. So all of these have this like, the rabies has a will to survive because it's, viruses want to propagate.
Right.
So if you become more aggressive and you want to transmit it then by biting other people, like you're not thinking that, but that's what the rabies is doing.
Yeah. This is
Viruses are
crazy.
intelligent, right? And the
Yes.
saliva, your throat gets swollen, your mouth fills with saliva if you don't drink water. And then you want to spit that too at other people.
Wait, if you don't drink water.
Yeah, because your throat starts to swell.
Wait, then so
It's harder for you to swallow.
right, but if you have a fear of water, then you won't drink the water.
You won't drink the water.
Oh, because rabies is taking over. It's not a thing where your body is reacting in a good way.
Yeah.
It's- okay.
So the video I watched, they were trying to hand this man a glass of water to get him to drink water, and he was like so shaking from the glass
This
of
is
water
crazy.
because he didn't want to drink it because he was afraid of it.
Oh my god! Now I understand why they shoot animals who have rabies.
Exactly. So it's to me it's this crazy thing where it's like real life zombies in a way.
It is. It's more like zombies than vampires.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go back to Jenna's story.
Yeah.
Now they have to break to the parents that she has rabies. And with this knowledge, Dr. Willoughby says to the parents, "Can I try something?" He's looking over 20 years of research, and he sees through this research that the brain isn't actually damaged when they're looking at the autopsies of rabies patients. The brains get disrupted, but not damaged. So when those brains shut down, the brains aren't actually dying.
Okay.
The nerve centers become overwhelmed, causing all this dysfunction, but at death, the brain actually looks fine. The immune system is even fighting the rabies because no rabies is detected at death. It's just too late. He's like, let's put her in a coma,
Okay.
have an anesthesiologist control her breathing, see what happens. They check her spinal fluid in 7 days. Her antibodies are increasing.
Okay.
Another week later, they start to wake her up. Her pupils are open, but her body's not responding. And he's really freaked out because he's like, oh, this is my greatest fear is that we'll get her brain to wake up, but her body will be locked.
Oh.
And that's worse to him. That's a fate worse than death is when somebody's locked in this state in which
You're
they're
conscious,
frozen.
but you
Yes.
can't communicate.
A few days later, a flutter of her eyes, then knee reflexes to an entire return. She becomes the first person to survive rabies without the vaccine.
What the hell?
She was in the hospital for 2 months, had to learn how to walk again, learn everything basically. She was like a newborn baby.
Jesus.
This is now called the Milwaukee Protocol, and it's been tried about 30 times with 5 successful outcomes. It's interesting. I encourage you to listen to the entire episode.
So they put you in a coma,
Yeah.
and that, your antibodies increase somehow.
Yes.
Without doing further damage to your. I don't understand why is putting you in a coma making it work.
Well, because it allows your
Antibodies to do their
antibodies to do
thing.
their work, but I think it allows your brain. It allows the time it needs. I think.
That's amazing.
I'm not even really sure.
Yeah, no, but that's amazing.
Something else that's interesting, I would say listen to the entire episode.
Yeah.
Because they go into this murky research around the Milwaukee Protocol that it might be that Jenna might have lived either way.
Oh, okay.
Because they found that they did these other researchers then go into into this area of Peru where they find out some people actually already have rabies antibodies within them.
Oh, wow.
And that's the people who survive. It's like these people who live in this highly rabies infested
okay.
area.
Yeah,
And
they've adapted.
And they somehow live. And then when they tested Jenna, they found out she had some rabies antibodies within her already. And that's maybe why she lived.
How would she have it?
I don't know. I mean, it's really interesting stuff.
Wow.
So it's like because they said, well, wait, the Milwaukee Protocol only worked the 5 times out of the 30.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not a real valid protocol.
Right.
Maybe it's that some people will
survive.
survive.
But no one's been known to survive before this.
It's It's really interesting.
Okay.
Because they then said, well, there's this other woman we brought into the hospital and she didn't do the Milwaukee Protocol, but she survived. So it's the Milwaukee Protocol has a lot of murky data around it. I thought it was such a fascinating story, though. And
thank God she's okay.
yeah.
When did this happen?
2000. Hold on.
It's
sorry.
okay.
And can she go out in sunlight still?
It's a good question.
Oh, guess what?
She can't.
She loves bats. And she goes and hangs out with him at the zoo.
Because she, you know why? Because she is part bat now.
She's Morbius.
She's more bat than Batman. Yeah, she's Morbius, right.
She's the real Batgirl,
yeah.
Batwoman. 2004.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I encourage you to listen to the Radio Lab episode. I'll link to it in our newsletter / show notes. And it's really fascinating.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much. That was wild.
Now we
But
know.
that wasn't a vampire bat that got her. That was a regular bat. Yeah.
standard bat.
Standard bat. Yeah. Got it. Crazy. Can a vampire bat kill you?
Yes. They killed. They are killing quite a few people right now in Central and South
Really?
America.
Because they take too much blood or what?
rabies.
Oh, for the same reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. That makes sense. Wow. All right. Well, thanks, Chris.
Anytime.
All right. Well, we will be right back with our guest.
So excited.
Welcome back to How to Survive with Danielle and Kristine. I am Danielle.
I'm Kristine.
That is Garen the Garden Squirrel.
Hello.
Hello. How was your break, Kristine?
Fabulous.
Yeah?
Oh, delightful.
What did you do?
I've already forgotten.
Oh, okay.
I might have
You
dementia.
had a brain suck?
That just reminded me of that chicken anus.
Yeah. Well, what doesn't remind you of the chicken anus?
Not many things.
It's just so weird that, like, remove the feathers. At first, I thought you meant you had to cut off the anus. Like, I was picturing.
I did too.
And then I realized, oh, you meant just hold up the now traumatized.
The featherless butt chicken.
Right.
Put it on your
Right.
rabies, and then
And
it
suck
sucks
it
out the
out.
rabies.
Yeah.
Our guest is like, I missed something.
I definitely missed
you
something.
know, I'm gonna bring in our guest.
Yeah, on the first half.
We talked about how to survive vampire bats.
Yes.
And now we're going to talk about how to survive other haunting things. Like ghosty ghosts.
Like ghosty ghost. I can't wait.
Alisha Gaddis is here.
Hi, Alisha.
Hi,
Oh, she's an Emmy winner. She's a Grammy winner. She's a
Jeez
writer. She has.
Louise.
I know she has a lot of books.
I have a lot of books. You were in one of them.
It's coming out in March, right?
It is.
And can you tell us the title again?
Periods, period.
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 I wanted
Right.
to make
With a period.
I wanted lots of periods in there.
I know, right? I
I
tried
want
to get
blood
as many
everywhere.
As you could.
And what are your other books?
I have a book coming out in November, and it is called Your House Keys Are in the Dryer, a parenting haiku book.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like
Fun.
the least amount of syllables for the hardest job in the world.
Wow.
How many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids. I have a stepdaughter who's 18 and a
Oh, wow.
biological kid that is 6.5. The 0.5 to her is very important.
Of
currently.
course it is.
She's like, it's my half birthday.
Oh yeah, I'm like that person who celebrates the half birthday now. You know what I mean? Like
You got suckered
we
into
do
it.
Oh, I got and then I like.
Did you really? You give him
did
like
too?
Oh,
do you give-
no.
do you
Oh, I
give him
do.
like half a cupcake or something?
I give her half a cake.
Oh.
A whole cake. I like get a cake and get a half the cake and like I don't know what I do with the other half the cake, but we give like a present. And it's, I
Oh,
mean, because
no.
she's a COVID kid, so
Yeah.
we had nothing. Like
And
she
it's-
didn't have a
it's-
You need to
birthday
phase
party.
that out.
I mean,
Well, it's okay. It's one. I have 2.
That's
It's too costly.
many.
Yeah.
I just have one. Her sister is in college now, which is super
Oh,
weird.
that must be hard.
It's hard or easy.
Oh,
You
got
know?
it. Got it. I
It's
meant
like-
for the kid, but yeah, for you, it's
Yeah, it's both. It's all the things, you know. Like
Yeah.
having a kid in college is weird, and a kid in first grade simultaneously. Like so I met my stepdaughter when she was 4. So it's like I've been through the entire
So
journey.
you're really
Yes.
that's really like a
parent
kid.
part.
Yeah.
It's like my child, and so it's like
this round, I feel older because I am. You know, I'm like, oh, a 6-year-old when you're 40 is different than a 6-year-old when you're in your 20s. You know, it's like you have way less energy and time. So it's like, so that's literally why we literally wrote the haiku book. Like I thought I want to write some of my funny mom friends.
How fun.
And it was all moms and during COVID, like, and we wrote it and then it sold super quickly. And that never happens with most books. Like, the periods book, which is like so important, it took 4 years to sell it. Like every publisher would be like, it's too niche. It's like all
it's half of humankind.
I know, literally half
too
the
niche
population.
Jesus Christ. Periods. Who has those?
They're like, let's not talk about it. It's not happening.
It's too niche.
But it's
It's literally a niche, isn't it? It's like a nook. It's like a nook and a cranny, a niche.
Like that anus you were talking
Exactly.
about. Just like that.
It's so close to the anus.
But better.
It's alarmingly close, as we found out. It
can cause a lot of problems.
UTIs, apparently.
Oh.
We had a lot of UTI talk earlier.
I'll have to catch up on that.
We're not usually this gross.
No, we're not usually.
We broke it out today.
It's Halloween.
It's Halloween.
It's
the season.
Yeah.
Tis the reason.
Talk about spooky things like vaginas. So, what your story?
Oh. Yes. I survived. I survived actual like ghost haunting sightings.
This is wild.
It's like it is.
Now, were you someone who believed in ghosts before this event happened?
I mean, I wasn't opposed to ghosts.
Okay.
But I wasn't seeking out the experience. Like I mean, I don't mess with what I can't see, right?
Okay.
Like I wasn't like, it's one of those things that someone tells you, don't ever mess with voodoo.
Yeah.
Black magic
Sure.
stuff. Like I don't, like, okay, I don't do it. I don't want to do that.
So
you know?
so you thought ghosts maybe do exist, but you didn't want any part of it.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, nothing's ever presented itself. It wasn't in my, see, I got so excited.
That's
I knocked
okay.
my headphones off because I will get chills during this telling. So I hadn't had an experience, so it wasn't something I was out thinking would happen.
Yeah.
You know, like some people like in it. We even had a neighbor that I found out later, because this happened to me a while ago. He was like, he's one of those people who goes into haunted places and like tracks things.
Oh,
with those
okay.
beep, 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 beep,
Yes,
beep,
yes.
beep, beep, beep. Like, you know, and I'm spiritual, and so I believe in other. So yes, I was in summer stock, as my husband likes to make fun of me. I was doing summer stock in Cape Cod.
Oh, I have to know what show you did. Or shows.
Oh God, I may have blocked that out.
Oh, okay.
I played a prostitute in one. That's all you need to know about.
Okay.
I mean, I was very good at it, and I honestly, God, I'll remember. This is how much life experience is shoved in my brain now.
Okay.
I can't remember, but the summer stock part was great. But they put you up. It was Cape Cod Repertory Theater, and it was like a big deal to get during college.
Yeah.
You know, you go get summer stock and you're like, I'm working.
Yes.
This is amazing.
Very
Getting
exciting.
paid.
Yeah.
And part of it was you were on you got put up in the house, like you get room and board with
okay.
like 2 other people, and it was with the artistic director's house of the theater company, who I love. They're very kind. They were the whole theater experience was wonderful, and also scared shitless. So, like, I moved into this place. I'm like, I get this room. Like, you could walk to the ocean. I was waiting tables, which is important to the story. I was waiting tables during the morning just for a breakfast shift because I was saving money because I wanted to study abroad.
Oh, so smart.
Yeah, so I had an envelope of tips, okay, in this room where I could walk to the beach. And I noticed right at the view. Oh, see, I already have goosebumps. I literally already have goosebumps. Look,
Wow.
this is like, I can't lie about goosebumps. Like, no matter how hard you try, you can't make your body produce goosebumps. Like, if you're like, goosebumps, go.
Yeah.
I'm going to try that sometime.
I mean, I've tried. If you find out, let me know, because they are always my indicator. Like, I have a strong gut feeling about life. Like, I always go with my gut about everything.
And if you
my
see goosebumps,
it's
nice.
real. So I'm in the front, and there's like a tour bus that pulls by, and
Okay.
people like stop and like take photos. And I was like, that's weird. This is a beautiful Victorian home.
Yes.
And I'm like, what's happening? And it was, the house was part of a ghost tour. You know, like people who want that
damn.
experience.
No one bothered to tell you that.
No one bought that.
There-
Wasn't
yeah.
part of the
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah, we're putting you up in a ghost tour house.
You're putting yes, and I was like, they were like, it's okay, and I was like, kind of, it didn't register. Like I was like, nah. It's just a spooky old house.
Yeah,
But it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
These gorgeous Victorians, all of them probably
Yeah,
had
they
like
all
dead
look like
Yes.
they've had, yeah.
right. And so it's just like people got out on the block, took some photos. So, oh my God, I can't even control it thinking about it. It's so, okay, so the first part that happened was I was out, I also am from a small Midwestern town. This has nothing to do with anything, but just leading into who I am. I had never had pesto before.
Okay.
Like when I moved to college, I had never heard of a falafel or hummus. I'd never had sushi.
Right.
Yeah.
Like everything was like, what the hell is happening? This is blowing my taste buds. And the people I was living with were making pesto. And I was like, oh my God, this pesto is so good. And I went down to the kitchen to the pesto, like in the morning or something for my shift in the place.
Yeah.
And there was this woman out in the garden in this beautiful white gown. And people were always coming and going because also they were like this hub, this artistic hub, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Of cool people. You know, it's like the people I want to be, that I am now. Like having the salon parties and like,
Right.
here's some wine. And I was like, I'm in summer stock. And there was this lady in the garden in this white outfit, like just walking around picking vegetables. And I was just like, oh, this pesto's delicious. I don't know who that is. She'll probably be over for dinner later.
Yeah.
And then I go to work, I come back, and I tell Janice, who's the artistic director, oh, there was a woman here. And she was like, oh, you met the mother.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
It was like my goosebumps. I know you all can't see it, but imagine my body's in goosebumps. She's like, you met the mother. And I was like, what? They're like,
See, first thing I think of, Lady in White, they're calling her mother. I'm thinking cult later.
yes.
You've met
well, it
the
was like
mother.
a thing. And Sean is another person living there. He was like, oh, I've seen her too. And she was like, okay, so cut to my room. There are two pictures of these boys. Mm-hmm. Okay, and Richard, who's the husband of the artistic director,
Okay.
who's an artist / lawyer,
Okay.
because it's Cape Cod. He had made these two paintings in the bedroom, but they weren't paintings. They were like this weird carving that is concave versus convex.
like the in the haunted house at Disneyland, that kind of thing.
Oh, I don't know, but
You know what I'm talking
maybe.
about?
Yeah, where it follows you.
Yeah, like it
Yes.
follows you. Yeah.
Yes. So he had made these like two creepy boy pictures.
Why would he do that? Why would he do that?
That was his art. Fine. And at the time, I didn't think it was creepy. I was just like, oh, two boy portraits.
Yeah.
And they don't have children. And it was like, so cut to my bedroom. He's like, that's the mother of the boys who died
Oh, come on.
in your bedroom.
No, they
And
all
what?
sleep on the couch.
No, it gets even weirder, okay? When I moved into the room, they told me I could not use the closet. Okay? Oh my God. I never opened the door because I'm a good Midwesterner.
Yeah.
And I was raised right. So if someone tells you not to open the closet door, you don't open the closet door. And it wasn't locked. But I just was like, I don't need the closet. I've got some drawers where I'm putting my money
Yeah.
for the tips. I like don't have nice things. I'm doing a show. I have sweatpants, yoga clothes. And so I'm like, what? They're like, the boys died in the attic in a fire with their mother playing
Oh, for
games.
fuck's sake.
And I was like,
Playing arson.
I'm like sweating now. I have like, good thing you can't see his pit stains. And so I literally was just like, what? So my friend and I go in upstairs, like this is probably the next day, like, you know, next day. I like think of the two things. The mom, she's died in this house. I haven't had anything happen in the room.
Right.
Oh God. I go into the closet with my friend Noelle.
Yeah.
And it's empty and big. It's
Okay.
a big, empty
no.
closet. Like, I'm talking, oh my God, I can't.
Yeah.
Oh God. It's like the size of half of this room. Which
Okay.
is big in a Victorian house.
Yeah.
With a fucking staircase.
Up to the
Oh
attic.
no.
To the attic. We go, and I'm like, she's like, we have to go in the attic. I'm like, we can't go in the attic. We're not supposed to go in the attic. She's like, we're going in the attic.
Right, you've gone this far.
I've gone this far. So we go up in the attic. It is a huge, beautiful wooden attic.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in it
Empty.
except a table in the corner with 2 little chairs.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
I'm not kidding you.
Why?
2 little thing. And we're like, that's so weird. Like, we go down, shut the door. Let's never tell them we did it.
Ghost.
Nothing. Like, we're like, okay, that's just weird. Like, who keeps an empty attic
Yeah.
with 2 chairs in it, right?
So much storage space they could be
So,
utilizing.
Could you imagine
It
that
seems
being
like
in
a
New York
waste.
City?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
it's
my God,
like-
that would be 5 apartments
It
in New York
would,
City.
and top dollar.
Yes.
So can we go back for 1 second?
Of course.
Richard, did he carve these pictures because he had
carved these
seen the
pictures.
boys?
Yes.
Okay.
So the boys have been So no one goes in my room. Like, this is like my room's off the side, you know. So things start happening after this in my room. Okay. Here's some of the things. My money's gone,
Oh no.
but it's moved 3 drawers down.
Oh shit.
I go into my room, my pillowcase is taken off and put underneath. Like, weird
Yeah, subtle.
pranks.
Yeah.
There's no
Well, they're
one that can
boys.
get into my room. Like, no one goes to my room. No one knows this was happening. No one cares. Everybody's at the theater
Yeah.
all day. It's not like there's like a random person. And I'm just like, okay. And it's freaking me out. And I say aloud, like, hey, I'm not here to hurt you.
Right.
I'm in your room. Can we, like, you're, like, this is weird, like, because the money thing kept happening, and they would take it out and move it into different, like, towel areas, like there were like knit towels, and I was like, this is weird. So I started to say it loud, like, hey, if you're here, I know I'm borrowing your room.
Yeah.
Like, can we just, like, be cool? And so the little stuff kind of kept happening. I'd walk in my room and a chair would be moved. And I didn't tell my friends because they weren't like my friends yet. This was like, you know, there were like other actors who might think I was like a crazy town. And I would just, so then I am showering. So then this is happening. Mm-hmm. I take a shower, getting ready to go from waiting tables to get ready for the theater that night.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I get out of the shower. I put a towel on my head. I put the towel back, you know, as you get your wet hair and flip it back. My neck completely pinches. Like, something goes off in my neck. Because at the time I was like a heavy dancer. I was probably, you know, my neck. I fall to the ground, hit my head
Wow.
on the floor, on the sink, and I'm on the floor.
Whoa.
Like, without a towel. Like, I hadn't put a towel on. Because, you know, you get out and I put my towel first, and then you get another towel. That's how I do it. Wipe off my body.
Yes.
So you're
No
naked, you're
one-
vulnerable,
No one's there.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just, like, totally naked, and I passed out. I passed completely out.
Oh my God.
The people were downstairs. There was no one upstairs. They said all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. All the freaking paintings that Richard has painted fly off the walls in order down the hallway. Bum, 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 bum. People are like, what? They're like, what's going on? Then there's like, earthquakes don't happen, but they fell down. Like someone was like, ting, 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 ting,
Holy shit.
knocking them off. They're like, Alisha, like, what are you? Where are you? What's going on? And Janice runs up. And from downstairs, and it's a big Victorian home. I'm talking the paintings went down the staircase.
Right.
Like,
Wow.
I know. This is like my boobs have goosebumps. So it comes up, and they open the door. They open the door because I guess they're like knocking on the door. Somehow they get the door open. There's a towel gently laid over me.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Like, laid over me. I swear to God. Like,
That's wild.
I swear to God. So I was very injured. I had to have like a understudy come. I couldn't walk. I have an old back injury that I literally was paralyzed from a sledding accident when I was in 5th grade, where my 2 vertebrae fused. And what happened was
Oh no.
Injured that.
Yeah.
So you were paralyzed again?
I could walk, but I couldn't walk well.
Mm-hmm.
So something was up. So my aunt, who is a physician's assistant, flew in to be with me.
Jesus.
To take care of me, to go. I couldn't
Did
get
you
up
go to the hospital?
bathroom. Yeah, I went to the hospital. They were like, she can't walk, but she can't. They like there were, but it's like it was a muscle injury that they were like, you have to go on like the electric, like the shock thing. So there was like a course of action, and I also was just like, no, but I have to do the show. So this is like the craziest last part that happened. So my aunt is there sleeping on an air mattress on the floor, and she's lovely. She's like another my Aunt Norda. But it was very weird. To look back on it too, like I must have been so injured to have her come.
Yeah.
But I also was young and like.
No, I think it makes sense.
Yeah. So she came, and she's a physician's assistant, and she is highly allergic to bees. Okay.
Okay.
We left the window open because these places don't have. It was summer.
Yeah.
You're by the ocean, breeze, but it's also hot. She was probably perimenopausal looking back, or menopause, like, you know. And we wake up one morning. She's taking care of me. There are dead bees all over our entire room.
What?
A nest had fallen in our open room.
Okay.
Bees had come. They were all dead.
Oh,
bees
shit.
were everywhere.
Oh my God.
Dead bees were everywhere. And then I was like, thank you, twins. Like, clearly, because my aunt who was there taking care of me could have, like, I sound like a crazy person, but I swear to God this all happened.
Yeah, no.
But they literally
This
could have,
is so
like, stung
fascinating.
her.
Yeah.
Like, one sting in our sleep.
So you think they were protecting her?
I 100% think they were, like, became friends with me. I think that no one goes up there because that's their space, and maybe they like got out and were like, you need to leave. And then like I had multiple conversations with them being like, I promise I won't mess your stuff up. I won't go up there again. Like I never open that door ever again. And then but I could have been, if I was laying on the floor like injured like that, it could have been very bad. And literally they
were trying to get the people's attention downstairs, and that's why to help you.
Oh wow.
100%. They just like literally did it all like a chain reaction down to where they were, and like
get
the
their
salon
attention.
room to get their attention to bring me up to be like, what's going on? So that's why they ran up and knew I was up there, and then I wasn't responding.
Jesus Christ, that is.
I can't get this whole story out because it freaks me out so much. Like,
but it's all positive in a sense. Actually,
the trauma was really the ghost didn't hurt you.
They helped her.
They helped you.
100%. And so like that's when I really know it's real too. I'm just like, oh, they weren't like being mean to me.
Well, and that's what we read. We did an episode on ghosts.
Oh, I did.
And it said. It said, I mean, most of the research that I uncovered said that ghosts usually are not malicious spirits.
Yeah, I don't think
what I'm
so.
trying to get my head around is like, okay, if I accept the fact that ghosts are real, this also means that they have ESP because they knew that your aunt was allergic to. Unless they heard you talking about it.
I'm probably sure because she has an EpiPen and she's a physician's assistant. So she's
but they don't know what an EpiPen is. They died too long ago. They don't know what an EpiPen is. Because weren't they supposed to have died a long time ago?
Oh, like so long ago.
So you're on the tour. Well, they should. I wonder if they added your story to the tour. You should get a commission for this. Royalties.
They should track down that bus.
What did the owner of the house, what did they say about it? About your story? Were they like, yeah, that all jives?
They were like, yeah.
This makes sense.
I mean, it didn't affect them. They were just like, okay. They were just kind of like, yeah, we've had the ghost. We knew about the mother. We knew about the kids.
Because they painted the picture. He painted those pictures.
He painted the picture.
Not from a photograph, because he saw them.
Yeah, I think so. I never like spoke to him about like what did you see, because I didn't want to be interested in that vision. Because I definitely saw the mom. I never saw kids materialize like. But then I do remember when we were talking about it. I do remember. I think some of it I like honestly blocked out.
Yeah.
And like really trying to really remember exactly what it was so I don't like misspeak. Like because this is like the timeline of what happened. But I do remember talking about it at a party. Like because they had all the people.
Yeah.
And one of the women had said, "Oh, I've seen the boys playing. I see the boys in the garden all the time."
How old were they supposed to have been?
I'm like this big, like 7, 8
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
But honestly, I like didn't want to know their names, or if I was told, I didn't retain it because it freaked me out
Yeah.
like so intensely. Like I'm sure they know their names. I'm sure there's public record on who died in that house.
Right. You didn't go to the library and look through microfiche to find it out, like in a movie.
That's how I think that, and that's if I were like really into it. I think. Like ghosts, I think I probably would have and been
Sure.
like, oh, here's a thing, and then like told more people. But I think it because, it was traumatic at the time. I look back and I'm like, oh, look at all this nice stuff.
Yeah.
But it was like weird. Like all the weird like pranks and things were weird.
That would be a great scene in a movie, though.
It would,
Those
yeah.
those pictures flying off the walls.
Yes.
Like, that's really cool.
Because he painted, like Richard had all his own artwork up and would have like shows, like have people over to show his new collection. So there was like heavy art on the, like a lot of art on
Right.
the walls.
So did you recover by the end of the summer, or were you out of the whole summer stuff?
No, I
thing?
recovered, thankfully.
And how did it
it's
so scary.
How did it feel to stay then after that? Were you like, I'm not scared because I
think
know
I was scared.
I'm at
I think
peace,
I
or
was
did you
scared.
feel like it's kind of scary to be here?
It was kind of scary to be there.
Yeah, yeah.
It was scary to be there. It's funny because ever since then, like I think I don't know if it's like in terms of like ghosts or angels or like things like that, have all like weird stuff has happened where I feel like that continuation of like helper spirits are around
yeah.
me. Like I was holding my daughter once and fell down, like she was a baby, and I fell down a full concrete flight of stairs. A full like those ones that like it was at a school.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you're like in the back.
Yeah.
Fell down the whole staircase forward.
Yeah.
Scraped my whole legs up. I have cuts. I have bruises and like things from. She was not injured at all, and my husband saw it happen, and he said it was like I lifted up like this and I don't even like remember, it was so fast I like fell, but I'm like from that moment I'm like, okay, I'll take the good help.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna stay on the good side.
The twins have traveled to the West Coast.
I wish. They're like, they walk in, they're like, boop, 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 all the paintings fall. I mean, so that's I get yeah it's
That's-
intense, right? I mean, that's crazy.
Oh my God.
Sounding.
Thank
I
you
don't
so
wanna
much for
mess with
sharing that. That's amazing. And okay, so you have had other experiences since then. That's wild. How old do you think your daughter will be when you share this with her? 50?
I mean, probably, because it's interesting. She's very scared of most things.
Yeah.
Like truly, like she won't watch Disney movies. She's also like a deep empath. So she sees like any kind of conflict, it like stresses her out immensely. But she also, like, I'll tell her about, falling down the stairs and, like, something felt like a thing. And then she's like, well, we've got help. So I'm like, eventually we'll ease that in.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, man, by the way, your mother was haunted but by good dead twins. It'll...
Yeah.
Of course they were twins. There's nothing scarier than, no offense, Chris.
Careful.
But geez, you know what I mean.
You're a twin?
I have twins.
Oh, my husband's a twin. Wait a second.
What's
it's all making
happening?
sense.
My twins haunt just
alive.
alive.
They
They
haunt
haunt
you,
They
yeah.
haunt me every day. So this all makes sense to me.
Alisha, thank you so much for being on, for telling your terrifying story.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Where can we find you?
Oh, you told me you were going to ask me this, and I always forget my handles. On Instagram, I think mine is... Oh, no. Just look up Alisha Gaddis on all the things.
We're gonna link it.
And it's like
Don't worry.
Instagram and Facebook and all the normal places. I think there's a link tree out there.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know.
We'll
I'm
put all of it on when we post you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But people should buy all the books that are coming
Yes.
out.
You know
that
what?
One you're into.
Buy books, guys.
Buy
and everyone buy books.
Buy books?
Just like buy them, everybody.
Just do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay,
We just made the world better.
You so did. You 100% did.
We fixed it, guys.
We did.
We fixed it.
Done.
We'll be right back with What Did We Learn Today?
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah.
Are you ready to learn what we learned today?
I've been waiting.
Welcome to our new podcast, How to Survive with Danny and Chrissy.
Come and knock on our door.
Come and knock on our door. Chrissy was a typist according to Garen.
That
I
all
thought she was a
tracks.
secretary or something. Yeah.
Close.
Same thing.
You know,
Yeah.
Back then,
she
I
was an
guess.
office manager.
There's no way she was an office manager.
No, I know, but that's just what all
What they call them, yeah.
That's what they call them now.
Urinary tract infections are usually caused by bacteria from poo entering the urinary tract.
I
So
knew
you
it.
look that up, that's what it is?
Yeah.
I knew it.
Jesus.
Butt play.
So, or you're just wiping back to front.
It's
like
really
some
ha-
goddamn novice.
It's really hard to teach that to children.
Do you get them as children? Do children get urinary tract infections? I guess they would.
Yeah, they can.
But you weren't a child when you got them.
Not that I'm aware of. Well, if I did, I don't recall.
All right. Vampire bats will not turn you into famous goofball Jared Leto.
Oh my God, world famous goofball is my favorite.
Unlike the chicken and the egg, we know vampires came before vampire bats.
This show teaches you so much.
So much learning. Antarctica has the most penguins of any region in the world, but it's not the only place where you'll find the tuxedoed bird. The Galapagos Islands, New Zealand, and South Africa are 3 other places where you can see penguins in their natural habitat, but those aren't in South America.
Yeah, none of those places have vampire bats. We've got to get to the bottom of that
Maybe
one.
it's at a zoo.
Possible.
Maybe they're all kept at a zoo and they attacked them.
Yes.
Even if you're not sure you've been bitten, contact your doctor. You might not feel a bite.
Contact your doctor.
And if you have, and you know you've been bitten, definitely,
100%.
yeah.
Do
Don't
not
stay
wait.
for the rest of the sermon. Go the fuck to the doctor.
The devil has you.
Yeah. There'll be enough potluck breakfasts or lunches, whatever you
They're not
Gentiles do
They're not
in
going
the
to say
future.
anything
Yeah.
that's going to be more powerful than rabies.
Yeah. Rabies is bad, super bad.
It'll kill you
It'll kill you.
right quick.
Damn sure.
This has been fun.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
Yeah.
listeners, friends,
Countrymen.
Danielle,
Yeah.
we're very close to unveiling some new merchandise.
I know. I'm
People
so excited.
are like, I got to start thinking about gifts for the holidays.
That's right.
For my loved ones.
For myself.
I'm going to be, Danielle and I, Garen, we're excited to unveil this. And it's going to happen in the newsletter.
Yeah.
So
real soon.
You better be subscribing to that newsletter.
Yeah, because that's how you find out about it.
So go to howtosurvive.com.
Click on I want to be part of the newsletter team.
I want to be part of this fun group.
team.
Yes.
I didn't mean you guys had to like write for it. That was a miss.
If you want to. Just kidding. You can't.
All right. Well, as always, remember, remain calm.